In this short tutorial, I'm going to show you how to embed a Google slide presentation into a Canvas page or assignment or any other text box that you are editing. This provides a slick way for you to allow students to navigate through a Google slide presentation that you have created either in a timed way or at their own pace without having to actually leave Canvas or download a file of any kind. So I'm going to use an example for an extra credit assignment that I've created in a class. Now that we are no longer meeting face-to-face for this semester, I realized I needed to provide them some examples that I otherwise would have provided in face-to-face classes. So I've created a simple Google slide presentation with various images that I want them to see that will help them have examples for what I want them to do in their own assignment. So here is the Google slide presentation I've created. I want to add that here to this particular point in the assignment, and so I'm letting them know that they can navigate through the examples below to see what they should themselves create. So how can I create this? How can I add this Google slide presentation or embed it into that assignment? What I need to go is if I go to File and choose Publish to the Web, it's going to give me some options. And so I can choose either to create a link to this, which would actually take them to a website where they could see this presentation, or I can choose to embed it. And when I choose to embed it, it gives me some different size options. I'm going to start with that size for right now and maybe edit it some once I see how big that is. And then how, for the automatic advancing, how often I want it to stay on each slide. I'm going to choose 5 seconds because I want them to have some time to see each of these. And then I can choose for it to automatically start the slideshow, and if I want it to restart the slideshow after the end. Those are all options I can create. You can see any of these I click, it's changing this information right here. What's in this box is the embed code. So I'm going to copy and paste that because I'm going to use that to embed the presentation directly into my page. I've already published this. If I hadn't done so, then I would have an option here to click the button Publish. And once I do that, then this is made available to people. And then I can also choose here when I want to stop publishing it, and then if I want people to have to log into their ACU account to see it. I do want that in this case because I'm putting up images from a book that is published, and I want to make sure that's protected behind a login wall. For some of your content, you may not care whether or not students need to log in ahead of time. So I've copied and pasted this information here. Now I'm going to go back to my assignment, and in this space I'm going to need to add the HTML coding. So I'm going to click on the HTML editor, and then I'm going to find the place in my text here where I want to add that. So I can see I've got my text here. This is the spot where I want to add that. So I'm just going to paste that in here, the information I copied there from the Google slide presentation. And when I switch back over to my rich content, I can see exactly what that's going to look like. I might want to add a space just to provide some space in there. Now it seems a little bit big, and so if I want to resize it, I can do that. I can do that by going back to the editor, and so I can adjust things here. If you look at the embed code, it's giving me the height, the width, and the height. Again, the default was 900 something, and then I have changed it now to 800, and then I've just done the math to make sure that my height is I changed it by a corresponding amount to what I changed the width. But you can adjust these numbers to adjust the size of what the students see. And then when I hit save, then I have the Google slide presentation actually embedded in this particular page, and students can navigate it by clicking the play button and having it automatically progress according to the timing that I provided when I created the link, or they can pause at any point and they can navigate through themselves or even jump between slides as they see fit. So again, that's a pretty slick way to be able to embed a Google Slides presentation into a page or assignment on Canvas so that students can navigate through that presentation within a Canvas window rather than having to download a file or leave Canvas to look at the content that you've created.